Hello, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Well, today is Independence Day, July 4th, 2022. Yeah, it is the first Monday of the month. Normally, we do a live session at 7 o'clock, but I know that all of you have much better things to do this evening than hang out with me live on YouTube. So today, I just wanted to give you something a little different, something. We're going to step away from gun laws for a second, but we're going to take kind of more of a 40,000 foot view of things. And I'm going to spend a few minutes doing some high geek out stuff with some of you who like to do that. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking today about why all of us should take a few minutes today to read the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so the topic we're talking about today, the 4th of July, is, of course, the Declaration of Independence. Now, we have had a tumultuous time the last couple of years for us here in the lawful and responsible gun community. The Second Amendment has never been under greater siege than it has been the last few years. And we have routinely wrapped ourselves in the language of the Constitution to protect ourselves. We routinely go back to the Constitution as where we derive our rights from. However, I think what I want to do today is kind of take it back a little bit further and get you all to understand how really, in many ways, the creation of our rights, the rights that maybe some believe are codified in the Constitution, but actually I don't believe they're codified in the Constitution either, but really in many ways the acknowledgement of the rights that we possess comes first from the Declaration of Independence. And so in many ways, the creation of not only this country, but the creation of the rights that you enjoy, the creation of the constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights, your civil rights that you enjoy are the product of the Declaration of Independence first. Now, to get you to understand how important this document is, let's talk about all the important things that it provided in the formation of our country and established in the foundation and the structure of our country that still exists today. Now, obviously, the Declaration of Independence was the first time that the United States of America declared itself an independent nation. Let us not forget that the title of the document is entitled The Unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America. But in addition to the obvious announcement to the British Crown that the United States was declaring its independence, the Declaration of Independence also serves as an indictment against the British Crown. And it is very important that it serves as an indictment because let us not forget, every person who signed this document was committing treason. They were committing treason against the British Crown, and of course, treason was punishable by death. The Declaration of Independence, through indictment, a complaint, a criminal complaint essentially, filed against the British government, against the British Crown, against the citizens of England, basically indicted them on numerous crimes and required the United States almost out of moral obligation to declare their independence to be free from this criminal activity. So the document declares our nation's independence and serves as an indictment, a moral justification for the secession of the colonies from the British Crown. And third, it establishes the American form of government. And this is important, and this is really one of the most important points I want you to take from this today, because these words are indicative of the American form of government, which was established on July 4, 1776. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And that language right there not only forms the basis for what would ultimately become the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but many of the constitutional arguments that are still persuasive today. First, by using the terminology, all men are created equal. The Declaration of Independence acknowledges that the rights are bestowed in each and every individual. They are not collectively bestowed upon a society. They are not collectively bestowed to one group of individuals, but they are in fact guaranteed to every single individual. Now, I think from a historical perspective, we have to acknowledge that the United States took many, many years to encompass everyone into that train of thought. However, that is the basis by which our rights are granted. They are granted to individuals. Next, it says that some of these rights are unalienable. That is that these rights are bestowed upon you by your Creator. Now, whether you're spiritual or not, we're not going to get into that. But that there are certain God-given, or if you don't believe in God, there are certain human rights which are inherent in every single individual, and no government can take those rights from you. And then finally, with the recognition of these inalienable rights, the Declaration of Independence establishes the American form of government. Now, the American form of government essentially says that first come the rights of the individual, then comes the government. That government derives its power from the consent of the governed. That government's first duty is to protect the individual rights of its citizens. That a government's success or failure shall be judged on its ability or willingness to protect the individual rights of its citizens. That amongst those inalienable rights, there is no government compact, constitution, or statute which could ever be entered into which would alienate or infringe upon those rights. And that finally, if government willfully fails in these duties, it is the obligation of the people to change the government. So the importance of this document, the importance of this date cannot be overstated. It goes far beyond just declaring our nation's independence. It goes far beyond one of my favorite holidays where I get to hang out with friends and family and barbecue and hang out in the sun and do everything that we love to do as Americans. But if you take a look at the indictments that were levied against the Crown, everything they did to infringe upon the rights of the individuals, we have now protected through our Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights literally comes from the charges contained in the indictment, which is contained in the Declaration of Independence. Listen, I hope you and your family have a fantastic Independence Day. I want to thank all of you lawful and responsible gun owners out there, because Washington gun law just passed 50,000 subscribers just this past week. Listen, if you have any questions about anything related to your Second Amendment rights, remember you can always contact us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or of course you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Now let's remember, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, happy Independence Day, and please stay safe.